It is a combination of factors that keeps us bullish on these large cap internet companies. First off, there's such a rapid pace of innovation in technology that's benefiting disproportionately these platform leaders, things like artificial intelligence, augmented reality, personal assistance. In addition to that, the core secular growth trends in e-commerce, in online media, and online advertising are clearly benefiting the same companies as well. So when we look at the spectrum of potential alternatives to these large cap internet companies, we still come away more bullish on them as we look in the year ahead.
Now, Steve, for somebody who's investing in young companies, are these big guys sucking up all the oxygen in the room, or is there opportunity for smaller companies to get bought by them? How are you looking at 2018?
Well, I think those big companies, there's a lot to be optimistic about. They've had just incredible execution over the last several years. In fact, I would say in my 25 years in Silicon Valley, I've never seen companies at this scale execute as well as those companies are. But what I think you're seeing actually is a beginning of a backlash. So we invested in some of those companies that are doing so well, but what we're also noticing is that it is actually crowding out some of the innovation for young startups. Whether you look at things like Amazon basically launching a Blue Apron killer the week after the company went public, or you look at Facebook doing a blatant ripoff of Snapchat's technology, or of course Apple's crippleware earlier this week, or Google kind of being conspicuously quiet on net neutrality last month. I think it's clear that these companies have built some pretty profitable walled gardens. And that's actually a big reason why I think the tech community in Silicon Valley in particular is so excited about the whole area of crypto, because it actually isn't about the currencies or the digital cash. It's about this notion of new network design and openness. That was the openness that enabled many of those now behemoths to get to the scale that they were. But you've got to have that as sort of one of those initial ingredients. And so that's what I sort of am excited about with sort of this next generation of technologies, is that they have the potential to kind of come up underneath those walled gardens and begin to build some new technologies.
That's an interesting point. Colin, what about you in terms of the up-and-comers you're going to be watching this year?
Well, if we consider the large cap companies as the redwoods, so to speak, and the up-and-comers as the pine cones, looking primarily at public companies, we do see signs of life at Snapchat, at Twitter, at Yelp. So we're looking at companies that have to date struggled under the weight of the platforms, but have developed a lot of their own either technology or proprietary data or user bases that could give them a lift. So, we don't rank them above those platforms, Colin, as of yet, but we're keeping an eye on them.
I mean, what all of a sudden gives a company momentum that is just in its niche right now? And, I can see when these companies first burst onto the scene, the excitement that they might become like one of the tech giants. But at this point, they're niche. So is there anybody else who's going to be an up-and-comer to reach that major platform size, or can any of those companies you named do that?
Well, I think it's unclear, and that's why we favor the existing large platform companies. At the same time, there are risks. There are technology risks. There are risks around regulation, and those could give a lift to some of the smaller scale companies. And again, the pace of technology change and innovation is so rapid. Things like voice offer opportunities for new companies to come in and potentially pose a threat. We haven't seen them, obviously, yet in the market, but certainly something we need to keep an eye on.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.